Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. I hope that you guys are doing okay on today. I know that I am. Um, if you all would, I would appreciate it if you would hit the like button. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those great things. Okay. All of those great things. Okay. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. Okay, so like, share, subscribe, comment, all of those good things. Okay, again, I think I'm repeating myself because my phone and stuff is going off. But I wanted to talk about Yo Gotti. Um, Still is threatened by Young Dolph's artist succeeding. And I don't, I get to thinking about, with this, unfortunate demise of Young Dolph, with them taking him out, okay? Um, how things have gone, and like the people that we've seen that have been affiliated with um the people that assassinated Young Dolph, okay? We cannot omit that at all. And just going back and looking at how things were handled when people thought that they were going to get away with what they did to him, right? Okay. So, um, I got to we know 42 Dugg is out. Okay. And they was talking about free 42 Dugg, and I kind of see the energy that they put into 42 Dugg. And I know they had another artist, ESTG, or I guess that's his name, that was in jail, and we would see where they would talk about free him and all of that. But it's like I don't know, it's they put a lot of emphasis and a lot of promotion behind 42 Dugg. And I'm not saying that he don't deserve it. I'm just saying everything that they do, um, they do it for a reason. Okay. It's very everything that they do is calculating, right? It's either in payment of something, or when they see that a person can be manipulated into doing their dirty work, or something. I just think in the end we're gonna see that it was far more behind all of this hype as it relates to 42 Dugg, right? Now 42 Dugg is from out of he's from out of Detroit. And what I saw was, and I don't know, I have people from Detroit in my um they're in my in my chat. They come over to my show. Um what I saw was on November 21st, 2021, 42 Dugg, just like Young Dolph's artist, was in um, Detroit giving out turkeys also, right, for Thanksgiving, um, to his community. Now, that could be something that he did um, on a continuous basis. Like that could be something he did yearly, you know. I don't know how long he's been out. I mean, I don't know how long he's been in, but if I'm not mistaken, he may have gone into custody shortly after that. But it would be nice to know if that is a pattern, if that's something he did before 2021. Okay. I feel like it's more that meets the eye, simply because I thought I had screenshotted it, but okay, but I didn't see it in my phone. Him talking about, I'm tired of all this playing. Come on, doggy. He wanted for 42 Dugg, 40, talking about 42 Dugg's album and all of that. And we know that Jay Fizzle, and we know that KEYGLOCK has been going up. Now, there's nothing wrong with all of them winning. I mean that's my mindset, because I don't know a whole lot about 42 Dugg, other than it he becomes very suspicious, and probably is up under the microscope because he has an affiliation with them. We understand that they don't push anyone unless they feel like that person has the tendency to be used and crash out, right? They always have a plan and an agenda um, to mess up someone else's life that's willing to allow their lives to be messed up for some money, right? So, KeyGlock put out a song and it has completely gone up. I think it went up to almost a million in a day or so. KeyGlock been blazing. Jay Fizzle been constantly dropping. Snoop Bands and him are getting Snoop Bands is getting ready to drop. Kenny Money been blazing. Okay. All of them have been doing their thing, and they've been doing their thing the independent way. And I think what a lot of them are starting to see is that even in taking him out, the only thing that they did was take out themselves, because they're going to have to they're going to have to go away for a long time for what they did, because that was against the law, what they did to Young Dolph. Not only did they take him away from his life because of their jealousy, I believe they thought that they would be able to corner the market as it relates to Memphis. Now, I was looking at Stan G. Shout out to Stan G. He's another Memphian. I just so happened to look at his video where he was saying that Endless Records and Head and Zachary Randolph is running it. Okay. And I found that, uh hey, when he said that, I had always in the back of my mind, even though I had not said a whole lot about that, I've always said that Moneybagg did not pass the smell test, and it could be because of his affiliates, right? It could be because of his affiliates, because when we look at what happened to Young Dolph, what we saw Straight Drop hanging out with a lot of endless um artists. Like, he was all on stage with doing songs with Homie G, with Big 30, with all of them, right? That type of stuff has to be to can't be omitted, right? It has to all be taken into consideration, although he still had an affiliation with Endless Records and with CMG Records, right? Although we understand, we don't know if Young Dolph had ever had any run-ins with Endless, and he didn't have to have any run-ins with them, because now they're running, they're saying that they're independent, right? They're kind of trying to do or they're kind of wanting to, I'll say, market themselves as being independent, and using Young Dolph's blueprint on the surface, right? On the surface, well, this is what it is, and making it look like it's actually Young Dolph's blueprint, but they're actually doing the exact same thing in them contracts that a regular Sharky slave deal record company would do, right? And so, to see, 42 Dugg being out, and for Yo Gotti to put that Instagram post up when he sees, right after KEYGLOCK drop his song, right? And I'm getting ready to see how far along KEYGLOCK is on that song, okay? How many I meant to say how many, let's see, KEYGLOCK. How many views he's got, because KEYGLOCK has had, I mean, in 11 days, No Hook is already at 2 million. In 4 days, Murder and Millions is already at 1.5 million. The man can't be stopped, right? And so already what he's trying to do is put a battery, I believe, in little Dougie's back, 42 Dougie's back, to go against KEYGLOCK, just like he did with Black Youngster. I guess it's not enough that Black Youngster has to go away for the rest of his life. Now I think he sees the exact same vulnerabilities in 42 Dougie that he saw in Black Youngster, and so now his target is to try and pit, in my opinion, 42 Dugg against KEYGLOCK, and once and for all to try and kill Young Dolph's legacy if there's any potential at all. I always said pay close attention, because I believe, Dirk and Lil Durk and Gotti kind of remind me of each other. Lil Durk was not satisfied until he took out all the potential that came from what he would consider the FBG camp. They took out Cash, they took out FBG Dugg. FBG Dugg was going to be a very big star. He was very versatile. He could have infiltrated and did hooks on any genre, country. All they knew that he was the bigger. He was going to be the bigger star because he was the more talented rapper. Although Von was talented, I don't think Dirk thought Von would blow up like he did, but Von had bars, okay? And so, but I believe, in my opinion, that Dirk was behind that, both of them, okay, and maybe even Von. Hell, we don't know. You hear the rumors of that, right? But now I think we need to watch 42 Dugg closely, because what happens is these artists that have a vulnerability get finessed. Okay, that one right there we can use. We can go ahead and finesse him, and he ain't from Memphis. You know what I mean? We can go on and finesse him, and it might be better this time to try and get somebody that ain't from Memphis so that they can go on and get KEYGLOCK out the way. And I'm sure Endless Records, because KEYGLOCK and them are still representing independent and using a real true blueprint, and that is Young Dolph's blueprint, and it's not putting on a facade from the surface, acting like they're using the blueprint of independent, but all the time signing these artists and they're still sharky, okay? Because that's what's going on with Endless, right? But Yo Gotti is still threatened, by KEYGLOCK. They just won't leave the young man alone. Hey, he announced he was going on a Canadian tour. Now he didn't pronounce he announced he's going on the tour. And as far as Moneybagg go, I think he wanted to really, really, really pit Moneybagg and KEYGLOCK against each other, right? That's exactly what he was doing. But in the back of my mind, because of what has happened with Young Dolph, I don't really believe Moneybagg wants to go against KEYGLOCK. I think Moneybagg understands. He's got sense enough to understand that there will be some justice, right? See, Moneybagg has a type of sound. I be hard on him, but Moneybagg is talented. Okay, Moneybagg is talented. Moneybagg really has the potential, okay, to be an international star, and he probably is supposed to be. But because of what happened, okay, as my grandma used to say, they cut their nose off to spite their face, right? So they took Young Dolph out, okay, and now I mean, they thought that they was doing something big, but they actually cut their breathing off in the long run. Get back over here, Riley. Cut their breathing off in the long run, right? Because that's going to hunt them. And that right there will always, when people say, well, they're selling out crowds. We don't know if they're selling out crowds or not. We see that they're putting a lot of money behind promoting 42 Dugg. So it means that they're losing money. Okay. Because I don't believe that 42 Dugg is selling like that, but I feel like he's, wanting to pit him against. Here's another one that he's wanting to pit against KEYGLOCK, in my opinion, against KEYGLOCK. I can only imagine what's going to go on with Snoop Bands put his stuff out. It's something about Snoop Bands that aggravate them demons that surrounds him. Okay, whenever Snoop Bands does something, whenever Snoop Bands does something big or drops something or puts something out, that dude flips. Okay, stop, Riley. That dude flips. I don't know what's going on with that, Riley. I don't know what's going on with that, but he flips out. But I think this is going to be something to watch. Pay close attention to how they're promoting 42 Dugg, and and I guess my question would be, I know that's his artist, but he seemed to be really, really pushing them hard, as if 42 Dugg has done some favors for him, for them, and favors for them is a genocide in the Black community. Okay, because they feel like I believe that CMG and Endless Records feel like they're supposed to corner the market. That's how I feel. But they don't care. They have the slave masters mentality. They want the people, the same people whose family members that they're paying to take out with the money that the people and the community are helping them to get, right? They want the people to support them, and they're using that same money to take out other artists and their competition and people that they feel like they have issues with, right? And so that's why I say, and see, with Zach Randolph, when people say, well, Zach got a lot of money, he do. Zach made a lot of money in the NBA. So that's the reason why I'm gonna tell y'all something. Zach used to be on in East Memphis on the exact same street that my aunt was living on, because I remember my aunt before she died, she said he would be standing down there all day with some gang members. And I remember they took my aunt, put my aunt in a car and took her down there, and she said he was real nice. He was smiling and gave her a hug and stuff, because he'd be standing out there all day. And so then my friend was telling me about how and how um he was really tight with Trula Mafia, and how Zach Randolph, and I was going, I'll say allegedly, you know what I mean? Because, but that's his precinct. He was over that precinct, so he saw what happened firsthand. He witnessed that. Okay. Then he mentioned another gang, and I was listening to them say that gang was from out of North Memphis. But hey, so when people say, well, he got a lot of money, he wouldn't have to do that. But you would think that he would know better with making all that money than to be so entwined with those and be hanging around those types of elements, knowing that he's got so much to lose. So that goes to tell me that all the time he had in mind that he wanted to do a record label, and he wanted to employ a lot of gang members, because hey, we know that a lot of these young men that are in gangs are the ones that are rapping. Hey, a lot of them are very, very talented. And if they signed them and helped them to see a different life and pull them out of that gang situation, I think that would be awesome. Okay. I think that that would be extremely awesome, but unfortunately, that's not what's happening. I think that their strategy is to get with them, to finesse them, to hang around them because they know that they're in awe, show them some things that they've never seen before, being around some of these celebrities with money. Of course, these young dudes can rap, sign them, and put that insurance policy on and put money behind them to blow them up, and that's how they're feeling like they're creating generational wealth, just like the oppressor did with although Zach made a lot of money. Okay. But with create but I mean he has a different mindset. See, a person can have a lot of money. You could take the person out of the gutter, but you can't take the gutter out of the person. Okay. Right. But what they're doing is they think that they're playing chess with getting these young men knocked off. Okay. Because they know he gotta know if he can send out somebody like a 42 Dugg to get some of his people to take out KEYGLOCK, right? He started putting a lot of promotion behind 42 Dugg. The bigger the artist is, the bigger the insurance policies can be. Okay. Then he got to know that there's going to be some repercussions, but hopefully they're going to be off of the street soon. Okay. Hopefully they're going to be off of the street soon, because this jealousy is just as deadly as the grave. This jealousy is, right? Still threatened by Young Dolph's artists, and it don't make no sense. And what he has not understood yet, I guess, because they feel like, yeah, in the back of their minds, they're so happy. They don't have any regret about what they did to Young Dolph. They're just hoping that they can get away with it. And in the back of their mind, they know they ain't. So what they want to try to do is somebody that they can finesse, okay, like a black youngster who that they can manipulate, right? They're hoping that they can finesse that person and do it a little bit differently to take KEYGLOCK out, okay? That man is so threatened by KEYGLOCK because KEYGLOCK reminds him of Young Dolph. He reminds him of how great Young Dolph was, and he still can't be stopped even in death, okay? But yeah, I had been wanting to talk about that, but it just don't make no sense. And I know I got into a lot of stuff as it relates to that, but it's a lot of stuff that goes through my mind as it relates to that. It's a lot of stuff that goes through my mind because this Young Dolph situation is bigger than what anybody could think, right? And we're not privy to everything, and I think that's a good thing that we're not privy to everything, okay? But I just, hey, when I say when these indictments start hitting, because they come in doses, okay? They come in doses, and when they come in doses, like, it shocks everybody. They be such high dosages. It's almost like you go, like it shocks you almost into an overdose, right? Because they come in doses, right? But as I've been saying for weeks, I had got the word some weeks back, and y'all know I dropped that, right? That there was supposed to be something going down in November. The person didn't tell me when. I just know that it's supposed to go down in November. Whether it's gonna happen or not, I don't know. The person should know because they're credible, right? Um, yeah, they're credible. So we'll see. We'll see. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App. But I had wanted to talk about that. It don't make no sense how this man is threatened by these young boys. And I know KEYGLOCK them are young men, but that man it just don't make no sense. And mark my word, pay attention to 42 Dugg. We're going to see if 42 Dugg, okay, starts to dissing or paying homage to people like Straight Drop and all of them. We're gonna pay close attention to that because I think it's more than what meets the eye on that. I just do. I just think it's gonna be a scandal in the end as it relates to that. That's just my opinion. Okay. But anyways, you guys, I want you guys to please like, share, and subscribe if you would like to support the channel. You could definitely support the channel via Cash App. Okay. I love you guys. Talk to you later.